Welcome to First Things First. I'm Brooke and my pronouns are she and her.
I'm Matty Mills, my pronouns are he and him. And before we get started, we'd like to acknowledge the custodians of the land on which we record. And for both of us today, it's the Gadigal People of the Eora Nation. All right, let's get into it. So if you don't know who Dannii is, get out. We don't want you here.
Nah.
Joking. But Dannii has been an entertainer since the age of 7, performing professionally ever since. She has global icon status and was honoured in 2012 with the reveal of her very own wax figure at Madame Tussauds, Sydney. Now that is iconic.
Now, it doesn't stop there. Get ready for a hot girl summer as Dannii Minogue plays Cupid to 10 single ladies from the UK under the Italian sun celebrating queer love. Oh my God, I love this already. This dating show is loud, proud, and starts with a kiss. Oh my God, I feel like I need to sign up. With the newly matched couples putting their chemistry to the test as soon as they meet. Now, this premiered last Thursday on Binge, and we're so excited to talk to Dannii about it. Oh my God,
welcome, Dannii Minogue.
Thank you very much for that immense intro. So hardly any of your listeners will know who I am, but yes.
Oh, please.
At the moment, I really hope everyone jumps on and watches I Kissed a Girl because it is epic. You'll love it. It's really, really wild. The girls are matched. So we use psychologists to do the pre-interviews with all of the girls, who they're looking for, who they're not looking for, try to have enough matches for the girls as soon as we arrive at the Masseria in Italy. It's a 16th century sort of a farm chateau, kind of an Italian chateau that they would have used, you know, an epic building on a farm from the 16th century. So that's what it is. Beautiful building, made for romance and love, summer sunshine, and these girls meet with a kiss. So they lock eyes. There are no words to be spoken. They walk from either side of this building.
Oh my God.
They
It's
see
intense.
each other. It's so intense. It's a long walk. I guess you take in a lot about somebody's mannerisms, their confidence, how they stand. You can see their minds going, brrr, is this the right person? Do I want to kiss a
My
person?
heart is going.
Yeah.
So
Like, that's so nerve-wracking.
you literally don't have to kiss. But the premise is that we feel like we're going to match them well enough that they would want to. So we've never not had a kiss. A lot of couples will go back for a second kiss. And then it's kind of like, I guess, how we used to meet, like in a nightclub. So there's no apps, there's no pre-anything. So you go to a club, see someone you fancy, and you know, mosey on over on the dance floor and you end up kissing. And then you're like, oh, hi, what's your name? Where are you from? So it's kind of that premise.
I feel like I'm a traditionalist in that way still. For my dating life, I'm not a big app user. I'm someone who would like to be in the club, lock eyes with someone, feel that chemistry, have a kiss, and then go from there. I've always been that way. It's how I met my first partner and how I met my second partner. So I feel like if I'm ever single and you do I Kissed a Boy again, I'm there.
Do you think it would ever come to Australia, Dannii?
I think that the more eyeballs that are on this, like obviously every country would want to know, you know, is there an appetite for it?
Yeah.
I think you will love these British girls. There's so many different accents from all over the UK.
They're so attractive. Like I looked at the trailer and I was like obsessed because they're so different and they're like all extremely attractive in their own like unique way.
That's something that I actually recognised from watching I Kissed a Boy was the diversity. And it wasn't about exterior superficiality. I really felt like the characters that had been chosen and the people that were a part of this group, they were there for love. It wasn't really a superficial...
Like Love Island vibes,
like one of those shows where it's all about the looks. I felt like people were genuinely there for the love, and I feel like that's probably the rigorous audition process. You figure that out, right?
It's a big part of the casting is to not choose people that have gone to other auditions for reality shows, full stop, let alone dating reality.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of researching through social platforms to find specific people, and sometimes they'll be like, oh, I don't know if this is for me.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful people to see because they're not those people who are like, yes, TV, give me this, and then I'm going to get these deals and get a manager and do all that. It's really about
you can sniff them out.
I want to find love, and I don't know how I'd cope with all the cameras and all of that. So, and BBC Three are very famous for having RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yep.
So it feels like it's a nice home and a good fit. And then they've got an amazing care team, like leading up to the show, full-time on set, and for a year afterwards, there are 3 people they can contact 24 hours a day for anything that might concern them or come up. We are so fiercely protective of them. Obviously, for the boys, it was the first time ever in the UK for a gay dating show. So there's a lot on their shoulders, not only their whole community looking at them, but a wider viewing audience.
Yeah.
Then when the girls stepped forward, it felt so fresh again because, you know, they were saying to me they're not that visible on TV as just real people. Like, sure, they might have seen a couple of characters on some TV shows growing up, but everyone we're coming in contact with at the moment is like, oh, I really wish I had a show like this growing up. So they're not your typical reality show people. They are looking for love. They bring themselves, and we offer just this really safe, open space. So for the boys, we crewed up. It'd be over 90% gay guys in their crew. There were some lesbians and then a couple of straight people, which I was one of.
That's so epic.
That is monumental.
They feel so secure and safe. And then same we did with the girls. So it was 90% queer lesbian crew, and the crew had the best time because they were like, we've never had this experience. We will probably never get this again unless we can get booked, you know, in case this series comes back. And, you know, all of those girls are fighting to get a position on the crew because it's just so unusual. So we're resetting the standards for what it should be, what it should look like, how it should feel. And it's wild because you've got that safe, open space. Then the stories evolve. I learnt so much, and there wasn't one person on the crew on both the boys and the girls, and I'm walking up to all the queer crew members and asking them genuinely, is there anything, like saying that I learnt a lot, is there anything that you didn't know, or was this like you knew all of this? There wasn't one person that said that they didn't learn anything. It's very fresh and very new, and I think very needed because people need to see themselves on TV, in film, in television, to feel, you know, comfort and accepted and proud.
What a beautiful thing. Like, that is really authentic representation, right? And creating a safe space. Like, we even know about that when it comes to First Nations communities and how much safer and inclusive it is when you have mob around, you know?
Yeah.
It's that same connection. But I do want to ask you, you've had such an affiliation and such a really strong connection with the, you know, queer community during your career. There is something that us gays latch onto about incredibly talented, amazing, you know, women. And you're one of them, I suppose, that, you know, the community has just uplifted. Do you feel that love? And do you know why there is that connection?
It's always a question I get asked. It's always one that I'm not sure how to answer it because it's such an energy. It's such a feel. I feel it and I love it, and it's the space that I want to be in. So I've always been drawn to that space. But to then be embraced by the community is incredible. And then over this long relationship that we've had, working out ways that we can hold and uplift each other and give back and celebrate together. It's been really incredible, and one that I didn't know would lead to this, but it felt so right when this came across my path. And they're like, they said, oh, have you ever matched up any friends before? And I said, actually, one of my besties that I write music with, we were on tour together and we rolled into a town and he locked eyes with this guy. And he was like, can he please come on the tour bus just like before we leave? Like that would be just epic. And I'm like,
Flex.
I'm like, okay, I've never seen you like this before. So, okay. And they ended up together. They got married. And they said you were our Cupid. Without that tour and you saying, yeah, come on the tour bus, that wouldn't have happened. So this friend I contacted, and when I got this job of hosting this show, and I'm like, this is happening. Now, he comes from Belfast in Ireland, growing up around a lot of very strong religion and really not feeling that he could ever be himself until he moved to London. That's where I met him, and his life flipped and changed. When I told him the what was happening in this reality show, he said, I have to write the theme tune. I have to write it. The full body effect of, oh my God, imagine little Ian in Belfast having seen this as a kid. And it's so emotional, and this is all wrapped up with my friends and a long life together and so many things. Another friend of mine in Sydney was very scared to come out and trusted in me that he was gay and wondered how he was ever going to navigate that, and was convinced that his family would disown him and it would be horrible. And I just was there to support him and to try and make him feel safe.
Yeah.
Eventually he chooses his moment. It was based around Mardi Gras, so that is a very, I think, important festival where people either come together to celebrate or use that as this incredible moment to move forward in their lives and to be surrounded by the community. Yeah. And so now every Mardi Gras that comes up, that's like celebrated each year as if that was his first year of being himself. And so there's so much like linked when I arrive on set to do my job hosting, which sounds
/Cupid
pretty boring. It's very, very emotional.
When I first met you, Dannii, I feel like you have just this beautiful. I actually got stopped in the street today from I actually cannot remember her name, but we worked on a job a couple of months ago, and she asked me what I was doing today, and I was like, I'm just getting prepared and ready to actually go interview Dannii, and we were both sort of conversing of how warm and how beautiful your energy is. Wow. And it's just so nice to hear like other people feel the same way as I do in terms of when getting to meet you, how welcoming you are.
Thank you. And you too, both of you, like you're drawn to people, right? And you buzz off that energy and connect, and you see it coming through people's eyes and their glow, you know.
Yeah. It's like an acceptance in so many other ways too. Like I feel like we were talking about Mardi Gras and like queerness and seeing representation and seeing diversity on these shows. It's just like you feel like immediately accepted into something where I belong. And I grew up not having a lot of places to belong to. And I feel like coming into my adult life, there's just so many communities that I'm a part of that makes me feel so accepted and like loved. Yeah. And I think that's like our biggest passion is to share that with people and to like converse and have conversations who feel the same way. Yeah. And I feel like, we're really excited about the show. Yeah. I mean, Dannii, you've been a part of my life probably longer than you can even imagine.
I bet you've heard that a million times too,
I just feel like you just know me from the basketball because we hang out at the NBL and it's like, I don't know where you've known me from.
No, I just mean as in like there have been moments where your name has like been in my life. Like I think when I was even working, this is going to sound so silly, like, but you know, even when Matty introed and you're, you know, part of like creating this like petite clothing designs from Target. Like
Yeah.
I used to have to wear them, like,
Yeah.
and I'd have your like name tag on
And
my
I even
clothes.
remember.
You know what I mean? Like,
I remember the
would
launch
see
of that
them.
range.
I
Like, and I'm
loved
a
it.
male.
I still think I have a pantsuit from that,
Yeah.
from that launch. I honestly swear. Like,
Fantastic.
but that's what I mean. Like, you've been a part of our lives for so long, and I just feel like you in your life you've probably changed and you've probably evolved. But in my eyes, like I feel like you're just like this vibrant, loving person that I've known, seeing on my TV or like seeing now in person. But it's just like it's just a bit of a spin out for me.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
what-
having
what-
a fangirl moment,
well,
but I'm just
That is
like
the best compliment I could ever get. That is so
Yeah.
high. Thank you.
Well, I'll let you know something. Brooke came in here only a couple of weeks ago when she'd had a conversation with you at the basketball.
Shut up.
And it was an amazing moment.
I
I've
heard
never
the
seen Brooke.
podcast.
Yeah, Brooke light up so much. She said that she felt really seen by you. And I think that that's like something that is your superpower. And I think that, that moment really inspired you. And I think that without us knowing, we also do the same thing for other people. But sometimes they don't get to tell us or we don't get to tell them. So, we want to let you know that,
It was a moment.
Yeah, that was a moment for Brooke and it was
was.
Because
very
sometimes you
special.
feel the energy to be with someone, to hang out with them, to be around them. But sometimes I feel like a real mission that I've got to say something, and I love that you received it and you're like,
Oh, I did.
okay. And it felt like it landed. It was like a little light bulb moment.
Yeah.
Of you needing to hear something to go, okay, I'm ready. I'm so ready to make this happen now.
It's so crazy. Yeah. Like, I mean, that moment for me was like so what I needed to hear. And I guess in my life, like I don't have many people other than Maddie and like my team and, really close friends and family that would understand those experiences and like what I'm doing and like like what we're doing in our life and the craziness of it sometimes.
And what a beautiful visualization of giving your nerves to someone else. Like I'm taking that into my life.
It's actually worked, Dannii, I have to say. It has
Yeah.
really worked because I obviously have been on set more recent, like in yesterday and last week I've had a few scenes and tomorrow is my like really big emotional scene. But I haven't been like one part nervous.
Yeah.
That is
Like, it's
so
crazy.
good.
So thank you. It's just like, I don't know, it just hit.
You take
and
the good bits, you take the energy
Yeah,
and you savouring that moment, and it's something that you're passionate about, that you want to do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be there because you've got to open yourself up to so much around you to make that happen. That, there's some stuff that you just got to park that until, it's almost nice to finish a scene or finish a show and come off and whoosh, the nerves can come over you then and it just turns into energy and excitement and then it takes ages to come down from that adrenaline. But you can just assign them to someone. So it's like checking off a list. That is done. And once that other person is really fully committed to taking them, it's a done deal. And we made that deal. We shook on it. We were like, this is what's happening. The only other person I've done that with is Kylie.
Wow. Well, I want to ask you, it's getting to the end of the year. We always talk about how, it varies in terms of traditions and what people do at this time of year. But
family.
what is it like a Minogue Christmas like? Are you going to see Kylie? Do you hang out with the fam? What's the end of year for you look like?
It'll be a full family Christmas, very much centred around our grandma, who is turning 105 next week.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I need your genetics.
Wow. That is amazing.
So
105.
she's a real cutie. She's totally with it and, just wonderful. And we're just enjoying that. She's already been, getting into the Christmas spirit with her Santa hat on. And she's really like sassy and naughty. Like she will just like sit there and not say anything and then just throw out this one-liner that will floor everyone. So she's the sassy one out of the family for sure. Like my mum used to say, she would get so embarrassed when her mum would come to school because she was so sassy with everything that she said. And now she loves it, to have a sassy mum who's that old is pretty cool. So you're pretty low key. So, keeping the energy just, calm. And there's my brother's got 2 sons. I've got 1 son. So kind of very boy orientated. The basketball will come out. So we'll be shooting hoops and, lots of Christmas music and, just normal. Open presents, eat too much.
Yeah. Real
And
Aussie
just
Christmas.
chill. Yeah. How about you guys?
I'm going home for 2 days. I've realised that sometimes you have to put boundaries in with family, and if you can only handle 2 days, it's 2 days, I've become to an age where I feel like sometimes you really have to protect what you've worked really hard for in terms of maybe peace in your life. And sometimes, well, in my situation, I feel like, going home with family for too long can sort of disturb that. And I think it's just growing and maturing and realising that, boundaries are important with family. So I'll be with them for 2 days and lap it up for the 48 hours and then back to Sydney.
Yeah.
What about you, Brooke?
Similar, actually. I'm normally the organizer. I usually get all my family together, pay for them to all kind of come from wherever they are to be in one spot. But this year is very different. I'm sort of spending it alone, which is so fine. I'm actually okay in Melbourne. A few of my friends have actually invited me to their family Christmas.
Beautiful.
So I might, last minute sort of take up the office.
Totally.
But yeah, if my family
You
are all
fly
in
out the
Perth.
next day to LA.
Yeah, so on Boxing Day I'm going to LA.
Yeah.
So
So you can't have a big one anyway. So maybe it's the good
No.
year to do it calm,
Just
by yourself,
calm.
take your energy,
yeah. I
Enjoy
need to
it.
get into the Christmas spirit. Maybe this will give me a little kick in the bum because I feel like I'm being a bit of a Grinch lately.
I'm not going.
It kind of feels like that. I hate to admit it because I'm really big on traditions and getting into spirit, and I love music and I love dancing, and I, get everyone sort of hyped and excited. Last year I bought Crocs for everyone, they loved it.
I couldn't
this
get
year-
Crocs anywhere last year for my son. Everything was
Brooke
sold
bought them all.
out.
I bought them all. And they were all for boys as well. So
Wow.
probably. But I had to buy them all from separate places.
Right.
And bought all the little, the gibbets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sure your son is into the
Yep.
gibbets.
Yeah.
Got little Aboriginal flags for each one
Oh,
as well. And
fantastic.
Amazing.
I personalized them. They were pretty cool.
That's great.
My brother's had Vegemite on it, and my other brother had a gaming thing because he's into gaming. I really personalized, but I remember
Beautiful.
my brother's face. Just side note, he they act like they hate Crocs, and I actually
Most
even
people
bought
do,
a
and then they
gibbet.
wear them
Yeah,
nonstop.
that
Yeah.
said anti-Croc Club.
Oh, that's
And
brilliant.
so it was perfect. So I put them all on them. And then when they opened, seeing their faces was hilarious.
Was anyone
it's
wearing
priceless.
Crocs on I Kissed a Girl?
Probably.
In the crew, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because they're so comfy, right? It's good for a long
I don't know
work
how
day.
OH&S they are though. For real. They're
Yeah.
not work boots.
Yeah.
They're the Aussie work boot.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we are getting the wrap up by our wonderful producer
I
Ricardo. So
know.
we do want to say thank you so much, Dannii, for jumping on First Things First. It's been a thrill for us to have you on here. I mean, it's a massive get for us, just so you know.
Thank you. I feel
we
very,
appreciate
very
it.
welcome, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. And we've got to
Come
host you
back.
when you come to Melbourne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would love to
Better
come to
take
a
you out.
game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, the 23rd they're playing. So if you're around,
Could be.
Get down
I'll be going
here.
back to Melbourne.
I also
on
need a team to
22nd.
follow. So,
United.
Okay, done.
Melbourne
Great.
United.
Yeah,
Done.
what the hell?
You can have
brother?
a Sydney team as well. That's all right.
Okay.
I'm rolling my eyes. Thanks,
Yeah, but
Dannii.
have a
We're so
great
excited.
Christmas.
Also for the show,
Yeah.
we will put the show link in the show notes.
Thank you.
We're so excited. I mean, I am for that representation of queerness and love. I kind of love that.
Well,
shit.
and I have to catch up with you once you've watched all the episodes.
Yes, so we can debrief.
Yes, we need to
afterwards.
debrief on it.
And we need to know who's still single.
Yes.
And you can play Cupid for me.
And then you'll need to come to London.
Yes, I did say I need to
What
go.
a plan. I love
Yeah.
that. And I'll just be in the bag on the
Actually,
way.
another side note, and I'll make it short. I was talking to a friend, and we said we want to claim you guys as mob. So you and Kylie, we want to claim you. So we're going to call you the Minogues.
Oh,
Yes, I love that.
So you're mob. It's
Done.
like a blackfella name, like
Claimed.
you know, claimed. the
Growing
Minogues.
up, we were told that Kylie was an
Boomerang.
Aboriginal. Well, yeah, for boomerang.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad you
That's right.
confirmed that.
It is.
So,
There you go.
and it's actually a Noongar word.
Aha.
Kylie.
Yeah.
Or boomerang. There
Yeah.
you go. So that's your tribe.
We're family now.
Your family.
There we go.
thank you.
All right.
I love
Thanks,
that.
Danny.
Have a great day.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks for coming.
See ya.
Bye.